Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I will continue with you the tutorial about how to use different brushes in Blender. And here we have this tool panel over here. You can, for example, click on slide relax brush, which slides the topology of the mesh in the direction of the stroke without changing this geometrical shape of the mesh. For example, you can apply it and you see the effect of this brush, and that's very clear. Concerning the boundary, also the boundary brush transforms and deforms the mesh boundaries. If you have a boundary, you can distort it using this brush. Also, the simplify brush can cleans up geometry by collapsing short edges. When you have short edges, you can collapse them and cleaning up the geometry. Let's move to the next brush, which is the mask brush. This brush is very important here in the stuff. Also, this brush, you should use it I think permanently or every time, because it's a great brush that can help you to do great operations and which is affected by the other brushes effects. Also, this brush paints selection on parts of a mesh to be unaffected by other brushes. For example, let's select a region, paint this region, for example, this region. So let's apply it. You should paint a region, for example. This region should not be affected by the other brushes. For example, you can see this effect over here. For example, I'm painting this region in order to not be affected by the other brushes. For example, I choose the inflate brush, scroll up over here, select inflate brush. Let's, for example, increase the radius of this brush. Let's try to do this operation around this region, which is painted previously by the mask brush. So let's rotate to see the effect. That's pretty awesome, and we have the effect is applied on this region, and this region is unaffected by this operation done by the mask brush. Concerning these two, multi-resolution displacement eraser and multi-resolution displacement smear, these two tools can help you to delete. For example, for the multi-resolution displacement eraser, deletes displacement information applied on a multi-resolution modifier. Also, for the multi-resolution displacement smear, deforms displacement information applied on a multi-resolution modifier. So let's continue discussing the different tools and brushes in this tool panel for paint. Also, when you select the draw face sets, this tool allows you to paint on the active color attribute, for example like this, for example like this, for example like this. As you can see here, Let's move to the other brushes and tools like box mask. One click on it to select it. For example, let's select this rectangle as shown here on both the sides on this quad sphere for the box mask. Scroll up, for example, to make this. You can see exactly what would be create this when creating this mask over this place, for example, over here around this region, to create a mask based on the box select over here. This the region which contain the mask effect doesn't affect the other geometry, because we applied this effect on this region. For the box trim, this tool performs a boolean operation based on box select. For example, let's try it over here. Here is the effect of this tool over here, and you can see it clearly by cutting in this quad sphere. Now let's see what can this tool do. The line project flattens the geometry along a general line. For example, let's draw a line over here. For example, a line like this, and you can see how to cut this sequence or to get this section, to cut it off. For example, like this. You can get this new mesh using this tool. So let's move to the mesh filter. What can this tool do? Let's try it now. It's a great tool. Applies deformation to all vertices in the mesh at the same time. Hover your mouse cursor over this quad sphere, hold and drag. Then you will get this deformation applied on all the vertices. The cloth filter applies a cloth simulation to all vertices in the mesh at the same time. The other tools we have move, rotate, scale, transform, annotate. Let's select this tool, and this tool allows you to move your object along the y-axis or the x-axis or the z-axis as shown here. We have the rotate tool also. You can also hold and drag to rotate your mesh, or rotate it to the y-axis or the x-axis as shown here. So let's move it over here. Scaling also, to scale it along the y-axis, to scale it to the y-axis, the x-axis, and scale it to z-axis as shown here. Also transform also can do. You have different operations in the same time to transform it. The annotate allows you to add some notes over here. For example, to type 35 millimeter